So I've just got back from the Mobile World Congress hosted by Qualcomm, and if you guys aren't that familiar with Qualcomm, you should know that their processors pretty much power all of those Android flagship smartphones on the market today. And at the Qualcomm booth, they were demonstrating the power of 5G and their latest technology. So without further ado, let me show you around the Qualcomm booth for Mobile World Congress in Barcelona 2019. So let's go. So the first stand that I looked at was the autonomous driving stand, and they were demonstrating their new Snapdragon 8155 3rd gen processor, which can power up to 6 displays inside a vehicle and power all of your infotainment screen and all the other kinds of stuff like that. And this car looked really cool, kind of like the stuff you saw in that film I, Robot.
What do you think you're doing?
I'm driving.
By hand?
They even had a screen on the steering wheel, and that looked really awesome. Unfortunately, I didn't get to sit in the vehicle itself, but I do know a couple of bits about what they were trying to demo. So they powered the new processor, but also they had the CV2X in this vehicle as well. Now what this is a device-to-device sort of warning system. So for autonomous driving, it can detect where people are, where cyclists are, motorcyclists, and to some extent it can even see around corners. So if there's a collision around the corner, your car will already know that that's happened and avoid any danger. So one day, guys, you will be able to fall asleep at the wheel thanks to technology like this, and hopefully one day we'll get to test out this kind of tech. But anyway, that was a really cool demo. If you want to find out a bit more about that, there'll be links below this video. The next stand that I took a look at was the Oneplus and the Oppo stand, where they were demonstrating 5G cloud gaming. Now the demos they had were super snappy. Everything was streaming in full quality with super low latency. And just to put it into perspective, the difference between 5G and 4G, at best 4G can deliver a latency of 70 milliseconds. So there's a little bit of a lag there. With 5G, they've got that latency down to 15 milliseconds, and the games they had on display were being streamed from Amsterdam over 5G. Really awesome demo there. I can't wait for the OnePlus 7 5G phone to be announced. I'm super excited to see that. But what about you? Are you excited for the OnePlus 7 5G? Leave a comment below. LG also had a stand there demonstrating the LG V50 5G, and they actually had a unique setup going on. So they had one phone as a server and the other phone receiving the data via 5G. And what they were really trying to demo here was the flexibility of the Qualcomm X50 modem, being able to stream in millimeter wave and receive on sub-6. And those are the two sort of wavelengths that are going to be used to broadcast 5G, and they're going to vary from country to country. But what we could see with this demo is it was really seamless. If you stop the video on one device, it would stop instantly on the other one, and it really shows how robust that Qualcomm technology is. And they also had this other really cool thing. This phone case may be the finest phone case known to man because it's a double screen. I've seen black and white second screens that you can attach to a device, but this is a full quality screen which you can attach to the V50, and it actually pairs to the device and acts almost like a folding phone. Pretty cool. Not quite a folding phone like the Mate X or the Galaxy Fold, but it's not bad at all. I have to check that out in the future. Let me know what you think about that idea. And Sony also had a prototype 5G device there. Although they didn't announce an official 5G device, this prototype was quite bulky, but it was in that 21:9 aspect ratio that we see on the Xperia 1. So I've got a feeling that they are going to announce a 5G device this summer, based on what I've seen here. But anyway, what they were demonstrating was 4K video footage in HDR streaming over 5G to the device. And when you look at the Xperia 1, the real focus is the screen tech and the quality of that screen. So to get the most from it, we are going to have to be able to stream this full quality footage to the device. And they were just showing how this will be possible in the future. Really cool to see that stuff from Sony. I just hope they announce that 5G device soon. So on display was a bunch of smartware, all powered by Qualcomm technology. They were actually demoing some of the Snapdragon 3100 Wear processor, which actually gives you massive amounts of battery life on smartwatches and stuff like that. They even had an ECG machine, which hadn't been approved for market yet, but that's coming. They had these really cool glasses as well on display that kind of look like Superman glasses, and in a way they kind of are, because when you put them on, they've got AR, so when you're looking through it, you kind of got a heads-up display. Really cool. Did you guys ever see that film Kingsman? That's what these glasses are like. So all of this stuff is powered by the Android Wear platform. There's loads of cool stuff emerging into the market. We're seeing so many smartwatches and smart devices like this becoming available. They even had this new tracking device called the Yepson Extreme, which is a vehicle tracker basically, but you can use it maybe to track your kids or something like that. And it uses 4G to basically broadcast the location. You can even set geofencing around certain areas, so if you put it in your kid's school bag or something like that, you know if they've gone a bit too far away from home. Really good idea as well. Quite a cool little device. Now this was really cool. They had a device called the Palm Companion, and basically what it does, it kind of tethers to your smartphone over the GSM network and actually acts as a clone phone, but much smaller, much more simplified. Just a few core apps that you have on a device. So what you can basically do is leave your phone at home, take the Palm with you, and still take phone calls, write emails, use YouTube if you want to watch What Gear reviews and stuff like that. Cool little gadget there. And again, this is powered by Qualcomm technology. So back in December, I was at the Qualcomm Tech Summit in Hawaii, and they announced the new Snapdragon 8cX, which is a purpose-built processor for PCs. And this is the first of its kind from Qualcomm. It's designed with that 7nm process, similar to that of the Snapdragon 855, but specifically for a PC. Now, in terms of performance, the CPU is on par with that of an Intel i5. And when it comes to the graphics and the GPU, it's on par with an Intel i7. But the major difference here, and I think is the game changer, is the battery life. We're talking about 25 hours continuous battery life on a laptop. Also on display was a bunch of AR and VR stuff, extended reality as they like to call it these days. And now with 5G emerging into the market, imagine using a VR headset and actually being able to stream a sports event directly to the VR headset live. So instead of having to buy a ticket and travel to an event, you can literally just sit on your sofa, put the VR headset on, and it's like you're there on the sidelines of an event, and you can turn your head and look around and see everything as if you were there. Something tells me there's going to be some new streaming services popping up very soon. And Qualcomm have been working in VR and AR for a long time, so stuff like the Oculus Rift is powered by Qualcomm tech. So expect to see leaps and bounds forward in augmented reality and virtual reality as well, thanks to Qualcomm. And one of the things that's really interesting is the new ultrasonic in-display fingerprint reader which Samsung use right now. They really didn't give Qualcomm that much props when they announced it. They kind of acted like it's their own thing, but this is something Qualcomm designed, and I think we're going to see this in a lot more devices this year as well. And another really big highlight of the Qualcomm event was when Cristiano Amon, the president of Qualcomm, rounded up what I'm calling the 5G Avengers. All of the major players like Samsung, Sony, Xiaomi, LG, all of the major network operators like Vodafone, EE, and the other big ones from abroad, all met up on stage at the Qualcomm booth and had a toast to the launch of 5G, which we should see in full motion this summer. So I'm excited about that. And guys, there was loads of other demos on display, stuff like aptX Adaptive, which I made a video about right there, and also loads more smartware stuff. And if you want to check out a bit more about Snapdragon 3100, there's another video right here. And guys, if you enjoyed this video and you just subscribed, that means you're now one of the finest subscribers known to man. I'll see you guys in the next one. Don't be late.